Hello, I'm Michael Houston, CEO, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Terry Houston, who is the founder of Houston Consulting Group and Associates. And today we're really excited about our business empowerment series. Before we get started, we just want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel today. That's the Business Empowerment Series by HCG and Associates. And make sure you click on the notification button so you're notified of all of our upcoming editions of our business empowerment series. We've had some great guests in the past, so you'll be able to see all of our past editions, and definitely this edition will be on there as well. Okay, and so make sure you share it with some friend or somebody else, a business partner, somebody else who may be encouraged by this. Okay, but I am so excited because we have a very special guest today, somebody who we go way back since our college days. Went to James Madison University together. That's where I met this young man. Matter of fact, his wife, Andrea, we went to high school and college together. I know that's where they met and everything. And so he's been he's Randy Jones, wealth management advisor with First Financial Group. I know our personal financial planner. So just blessed to have you on today, Randy. How you doing today?
Really great. Thank you so much, Mike and Tara, for inviting me to be able to talk to your audience. I'm really excited and can't wait to get started. But it's sun shining. I got a smile on my face, and I can see the smile on yours.
Oh, man, I tell you, but you're always smiling. We love your personality, and I know you'll definitely keep our audience on the edge of your seat, But hey, and go Dukes, right?
Hey, go Dukes.
That's right, that's right. But Randy, hey, no, thank you for coming. On a serious note, we appreciate you being our guest, and I know we've kind of broken bread for many times as we've worked together over the years, as we reconnected after college. I know with us with real estate, I know you have a vast mortgage background and working in financial services, and you've really been a blessing to us as far as financial planning for us. And I know even many of our clients and people that we know, business owners and individuals, and so I know we'll get to that. But we have a lot of synergy because we're all about building legacies for the people who and families and people who we're connected to. And I know you're about building legacies for those folks that you serve as well, and particularly in the financial arena. But take us back. Talk a little bit about, share with us, that journey. What got you started in wanting to, or how did you kind of get started into the financial arena, and even your mortgage background, and what inspired?
Outstanding. So I guess we take a step back. I guess for the last 25, 26 years, I've helped a lot of people do different things, from buying homes, building retirements, taking care of their kids and their parents as they get older, starting companies, buying and selling companies, and a lot more. I used to run and own a mortgage company for about 17 and a half years. Yes. I went to, of course, James Madison. And a lot of times when you're young, people ask you, well, what do you want to be in your life? And you say, well, I want to be X, or I want to be Y. So I went to school. And I often tell people that I have had jobs sort of like Forrest Gump, I went to school, got a biology pre-med degree. I was a combat medic in the military. Wow. And a nurse in the VA hospital. Wow. And one day in our nursing rounds, my instructor said to me one time, she said, Randy, well, she said students, most of the time they were talking to me, but she said students, let me tell you, medicine is not designed to heal you. It is designed to sustain you.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was quite incredible. And so over the years, as I transitioned from, when I was a nurse, I would see people just be passionate about what they wanted to do. And I said, I was going to go to medical school, right? And I said, well, being a doctor for the money probably just isn't the right reason. So I sort of fell in love with real estate and started off, when I went to college, my mom said, so what are you doing? I was like, I live in Northern Virginia and I'm in real estate. She said, so what do you do on a daily basis? I said, I deliver donuts. And she's like, what? I thought you were doing real estate. So when I say I started off at the bottom, worked my way up until running a title company, running my own real estate company, my own mortgage company and everything. And just that lesson that my instructor said to me when I was a nurse in the VA hospital was, a lot of the information out here today, that is designed and to give you information about finance is not about financial freedom. It's about financial maintenance, just enough to keep you going. And so in the years that of running my mortgage company, I noticed people had money more as an obstacle than they did as an asset. When the 2008 market happened, we actually grew. A lot of people may have gone out of business or shifted or something like that. I took on more space. I hired more people, but people started coming to me and saying, I thought my house was going to be this in my future, or provide for my kids, or be a part of my retirement. Is there something else you could do to help me? And I would say, well, I knew a little bit about money, but I knew more people that I could refer you to that could help you. And so I would refer people out, and they would come back to me and later and say, I really don't want to meet anybody else, Randy. I want you to figure out how to do this. And I'm like, well, this is not what I do. I got 3 young kids, and changing my career, at this point would probably be crazy. But I guess, when you're really customer focused and you really think about others first, I thought about it and I said, well, shucks, I would love to be able to be a financial advisor and figure out a way of how to help people. But, my entire business was around the mortgage company. And then Saturday morning, one day, my kids were small. And I said to my wife, that would really be great to, have a financial advising business. And my wife spoke up. I don't know, it might have been clairvoyant, God or somebody said, hey, why don't I run the company and you go become an advisor?
Right.
And in that moment, I just decided, okay, I would go. So I went on and started doing financial advising, and then we expanded into financial awareness and education. And so we might do 60 or 70 different presentations for lots of nonprofit and for-profit organizations. Here in the Northern Virginia area, I have an advisory practice at First Financial Group, where I have about 11 advisor partners who help me do financial planning for my individuals and my business owner clients, But like I said, financial planning to a lot of people is really about money, but really it isn't. It's about options. And what I mean by that, if I look at a person's life, they typically have multiple dollars doing one job versus $1 doing multiple jobs. So what we do is sort of help people get a better understanding of how their money works. And really, I will often tell anybody and everybody that your money has never been your issue, just the way that you think about it. So what I do isn't complicated, but it is hard, because the hardest part about it is that before I meet a person, they have a lifetime of experiences and of ups and downs and do's and don'ts. And then when they meet with me, my whole goal is to challenge them to think differently about their money. Because if you can think differently about your money, then you truly can control what you're doing with your money. So, I mean, that's sort of a snippet. And then, we have close to, I think, 1,100 clients that we help in a number of different ways, from education planning to, a number of things.
Absolutely. Well, then definitely, that's awesome. And I know we're going to get into, I know you do seminars. I know we've done seminars together. I mean, and people walk away, I know we do, just with just a whole newfound of understanding and education. And so, but I want to go back just a little bit, because I know we have worked together many times to help many families collectively, start their dream of home ownership, mortgage business. And we strongly believe that all experiences build upon another, and work towards, the future. And so, how has, being a long time, mortgage professional, and I don't know, you may know off the top of your head, roughly how many families that you've helped finance to put in homes, but how has that experience helped you in terms of being able to help families now build their legacies through, wealth management and financial planning?
As a mortgage lender, I don't know if it was out of design or anything like that, but a lot of my early clients were clients who had either challenges financially, challenges with their credit and things like that, or just challenges just trying to get qualified. And when I would tell people that it's the way that you think about it, a lot of times people don't realize mortgage lenders, what that business taught me of how financial institutions think. Here's what I mean. Most people think that banks lend money based on you have good credit, that you have money in the bank, that you have great income, great job stability and things like that. The truth of the matter is that mortgage lenders do not lend money based on how good you look on paper. They only care about the chances of you not paying them back. So what the challenge is that most people present themselves as a highly qualified borrower when the banks are grading you as a low-risk candidate. It is the same glass of water, but you present yourself as half full, but they want to see half empty. Because a lot of times people say, well, banks aren't lending money. Banks are in the business of lending money. They would love to give it away. But people often disqualify themselves because they either exaggerate numbers or they give, approximates and things like that. And so what I learned as a loan officer is that I would tell people, tell the truth about what you're doing. And I think over the years, what happened was when you would go to get mortgage financing, it was you against the bank or the person that was across the desk with you, they would ask you, what do you think your car payment is? And your car payment is $300. Now, this is years ago. I'm dating myself.
Right.
You might say $500 because that might be what you paid. And you went on that path of over exaggerating what you paid. But most of the time, people didn't realize that when you do a loan application, we were taught that the information that you provide to us supersedes anything that we receive or see on your credit report if it negatively impacts your ability to make the payment. So 85% of the people out there who would go for financing would disqualify themselves. And so that was the beginning of the education process that I would tell people. I said, hey, you have to present yourself differently. And I thought about it, if people are doing this the wrong way when it comes to their mortgage, they're probably doing it a whole lot of different ways, or the wrong way when it comes to retirement, starting businesses, educating kids.
Right.
And so
I don't know.
therein lies how we started doing, education seminars for a number of things, from retirement, investing, real estate, and things like that.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal. I love the whole educational aspect of it. The use
Right.
of education. You ask a lot of questions.
Right.
And you really try to get what's important to the clients. I mean, we're clients of yours,
Absolutely.
so certainly we know firsthand, and we're also, strategic partners. I know that we've done some seminars and things together from real estate perspective, but I like your educational aspect. So what are some of the seminars that you offer?
Oh, wow. Probably the first seminar that I would teach all the time was credit, because, credit, people are so consumed by it. And what I would do in that class, I try to do that sort of shock and awe. I mean, you guys have been in there,
Right.
I'm a lot more animated than I'm even doing right now. But
it's really,
and I would tell people in the very beginning, I said, I know a lot of you have done things with credit, and a lot of you have researched credit. A lot of you have been to credit counseling, gone on the internet, read this book, that book. And then I would say, credit does not exist. And people would be shocked. I say, but until you request it. And so I would teach about credit in a different way of thinking about it. And most importantly, how do you get control of your credit? And then it grew into, not just financial planning from an investment standpoint, but cash flow management. Cash is king. A lot of times people were challenged. I said, wealth is hidden in the words that define it. And so I said, oftentimes people talk about saving money. America doesn't have a retirement problem. America doesn't even have a savings problem. America has a spending problem. Here's an example. If I put down a $10 bill on the table and I told you, pick up the $5 bill, could you do it? You couldn't do it because it was only a $10 bill there.
That's right.
But if I put down a $10 bill on the table and I say only spend 5 of it, could you do that?
Right. Yes.
So the challenge with saving is it has you look for something that you cannot see and ignore what's right in front of you. We have a spending problem. Most people look from a budget. They want to create a budget. So that was one of the classes. And I said, a budget is a reactive way of managing your money. It says, how much do I owe and what do I have to cover it? We never have enough to cover it. But a spending plan says, how much do I have and how should I be allocating it? It is the same dollars, but it's just a different way of looking at it.
Right.
And then when we talked about investing, one of the classes I teach is investing. Now, a lot of times people say, well, Randy, they'll call me and say, you think I should get into Bitcoin, or I should get into this company or that company? I said, I don't know. I think they're all good companies out there. The markets go up and down. They say, Randy, are you worried about the market? I said, no, I can't do anything. It's like worrying about the sun coming up and down, Thank goodness every time I get up, it's up, and every time I go to sleep, it's down. But I would educate people when it comes to investing. I said, we don't invest for rates of return. Investing is about access and control. When do you need the money? If the stock market is down 1,000 points today, but you don't need that money until 20 years from now, what difference does it make?
Right, absolutely.
They said the average investor makes a rate of return of roughly 3.1% in any 30-year span, not because of the market, but because of emotion.
Wow.
And so I teach about credit. I teach about cash flow. I teach about how do you structure a business? What is the right way to formulate a business? Now, all of the things that I teach wasn't that I went to a class or something. It was based on my experience. When I became a financial advisor, my accountant said to me, I said, do you think I'll be a good advisor? And she said, yeah, I think you'll be a great one. I said, why? She said, because You really made a lot of mistakes the first 10 years. I said, I don't know, is that a compliment?
That's a compliment.
That's a compliment.
I think it is, yeah.
Yes.
And that's why we trust you with this.
Absolutely. You've been
so emotionally knowing what people go through, you know, whether we're talking about credit, whether we're talking about cash flow, whether we're talking about investment, whether we're talking about buying companies, selling companies, running companies, there may be about 32, 33 different types of seminars that, you know, that we cover.
Awesome. That is great. And I said, again, your seminars are powerful. Again, I've seen you in action and people being empowered and walking away with, you know, specific things to do. I know you've helped many people and even business owners get on the trajectory to really, you know, strengthening their finances and building that legacy.
Right.
Randy, let me ask you this. Excuse me. I know we've been through it and everything, and you do a great job at it. So, you know, somebody, you know, wants to sit down with you and maybe is new to, you know, wealth management or financial planning or what have you, maybe not necessarily new, but just want to kind of improve or just, you know, get some more insight on what to do. Kind of quickly talk about kind of what that initial consultation, you know, looks like when somebody sits down with you for the very first time.
You know, the number one thing that people say to me when it comes to financial planning is that I have to wait until I get some money before I come see you. It's sort of, you know, that's sort of like being sick and telling your doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like being sick and telling your doctor, I think I'm gonna get a little bit better first before I come see you. You know?
Right, exactly. I love that. That's a great analogy.
So I think that the number one thing that people need to understand when it comes to financial planning, as I said, it's not about money. I can't control you having less or more money. We can only work with the money that you currently have.
Right.
But I think the things that and we've had this conversation, we have 4 types of assets in our life. And we have physical assets, our health and well-being, contributions to our family. Our intellectual assets, our professions, memories, and experiences. Our ethical or spiritual assets, our belief systems, our why, as Simon Sinek would say. And then our material assets. And when I ask people, which one would you give up if you had no choice, but you could only keep 3? And everybody says material because you can make it back. And so in the process of doing planning, I say, how about we put the money aside for a second and let's sit down and just have a conversation of who you are and what you want your money to be able to provide for you as far as a pathway. And once we have that discussion, my job is to identify the path that you're already on and then remove the obstacles that money creates for you so that nothing stops you from getting from point A to point Z.
Outstanding.
That is so powerful. I mean, I really have even learned a lot here. Just the way I like what you said. It starts in the mind and ends in, insinuated and ends in the purse.
I know.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, starts in the mind and ends in our wallet.
That's right.
Right.
Statements. I love that.
I think the financial planning isn't complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people meet with different advisors and they tell them you should do this with your money or you should do that with your money, but they ignore the people, the person. You know, who are you to your family? Who are you to your community? Who are you to yourself? And I think that's a bigger conversation than, you know, how much money you do or don't have. Because if we can really begin with the end in mind, who do you want to be remembered as and for, and what do you want to do in your life? Then we can sort of align all of what you do have and all of what you don't have so that you can do whatever it is that you're put here to do.
Outstanding.
That
is powerful. And I know we've had many conversations about that. And, you know, that's all a part of building a legacy.
Yep.
Not what we just attain while we're here on earth, but, you know, what assets and what we're able to leave behind for those as far as our loved ones and the communities and causes that we care about.
Right.
And, you know, financial wealth management, financial planning plays a big role in that. And building their legacy, you know, that's powerful. And I know you've blessed us, even, you know, with what you've shared and you've been able to assist us as far as, you know, getting our business and house in order, as far as our financial planning. And I know you'd be a blessing to, you know, anybody that, you know, sits down and talks with you as well. And so anything else that you would just, as we close out, just like to share or leave with our viewers? Burning that.
So, I mean, just real quick, because sometimes I get long-winded and forget to answer the question. So what we do first is we have a conversation about who you are, who you want to be, and how soon you want to get there.
Okay.
Then we gather some data as far as what are you currently doing? And we're going to test all of what you're currently doing. It's just not going to be my recommendation or anything like that. And so what I'm going to do is inform and educate you so that you can make the choices.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you the pros and cons based on the choices that you do. And then we design a very simplistic plan that you can implement. And then most importantly, when we have your goals, dreams, and aspirations written down, then my job is to hold you accountable to them. If you want to be great, once a quarter we're going to meet, and I'm going to say, here is where you measure based on what you said being great looks like. And that most likely will not be a monetary thing. And then I'll say, here are the resources, and you being a good steward of those resources so that you can really execute on the vision that you have for yourself and your family. I would tell people, don't feel that you are behind.
Right.
Because you're never too late to start.
Right.
I have some clients who've never done any type of planning. They come to me in their 60s and they say, hey, I'm probably a lost cause. I said, no. I said, you are whatever you believe. And my goal is to encourage you to believe in yourself, that you can do anything and that you're never too late and that you're unstoppable. All that we need to do, sometimes, we want to avoid the conversation, but my goal isn't to judge you, it's to help you.
Right.
So once we have the ability to be open and honest, just tell me where you are, because all I really want to do is see you win. But the one thing I tell my clients is that I am a highly optimistic person. So you cannot tell me any dream that will make me, shy away or run from you. I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to show you how we're going to break it down in simple steps, something that can be on one sheet of paper that you can remind yourself every day of what you're doing, why you're doing, and how you're going to get there. My mentor would often say, if we have a strong enough why, we can overcome any how and what. And that's what I want to encourage people to remember.
I love it. I love it, Randy. I'll tell you, well, you got us inspired.
Well, and you know what, as I heard you, this is just totally an aside, and she'll probably not even remember this, but back in 1995, I was a student teacher. And I was going to several schools in the Richmond area, and I happened to be a student teacher in the school where your mother was the principal.
Wow.
And I've heard her inspire those kids, and I heard her inspire those teachers, and she even had to check me a couple times about my attitude. She was a straight shooter, but I learned even a lot, but I'm hearing that even in you, that influence from your mother. Is about the educator and the motivator and I believe that you can do it. I hear it in your voice.
You know what? That's an interesting point. Just a last point to that. My mom asked me when I was younger, she said, do you want to be a teacher? I said, no, I don't want to be a teacher because I was like, that's not fun. I want to do this and I want to do that.
Right.
As a matter of fact, when I was 9, my father asked me, what do you want to be? And I used to sneak, this is before cable, dated myself. And I would watch Benny Hill at night. And I said, I want to be a stand-up comedian.
Right.
He said, you want to be a class clown? I was looking at your yearbook and everything like that. And so to fast forward, you can dam up a river and redirect it and everything, but nature will take its natural course. All I'm doing is standing on the stage, teaching people in a funny way about something that makes everybody nervous. So I guess I ended up being a comedian, a teacher, and all of the above, right?
No, you know what I'm saying? Getting paid for it. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And I just want to close. I know you shared something that's very powerful. Our listeners, I want you to catch this, is that, talking about start where you are and start now with what you have. Somebody once told me, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So start planting your financial tree now so you can prepare for your wealth management and financial future for the next 5, 10 years and build your legacy beyond that. I encourage you, reach out to Randy. We have his information here in the post. Definitely, you're here in the Northern Virginia market, but you serve all in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, right?
Yeah, all 50 states, actually.
All 50 states, yeah. So wherever you're listening to this, hey, reach out to him. He'd be happy to share with you how you can get on the path to, financial freedom and wealth management and preservation, so you can leave your legacy. Okay, well.
Very good.
Very good. Awesome. Well, Randy, thank you for being our guest today. Tell your wife you say hello, and we'll continue to work together. And I know we'll be staying connected. And again, for those of you who have not already, go ahead and join our YouTube channel, Business Empowerment Series by HCG and Associates. That's where you can find us on YouTube. Hit the notification button so you can catch all of our upcoming editions. Take some time to go back and look at our past editions. Definitely have some great guests, and including this one. You may want to watch it 2 or 3 times. I'm sure you'll catch something. Okay.
Oh, and if you want more information about me, just go to MrRandyJones.com.
MrRandyJones.com. We're gonna have that in the post on this edition. Okay. Thank you, Randy. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.